October 13th, 2025. A Sunday morning Mass in São Paulo, Brazil. Father Miguel stands at the altar, leading prayers for 200 faithful. In exactly 4 minutes, a man will charge through those doors with a knife. In 8 minutes, security cameras will capture something that defies explanation. What happens next will be investigated by the Vatican, analyzed by scientists, and witnessed by people who can never unsee what they saw that day. This is not folklore. This is not legend. This is documented reality. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button. What you're about to hear challenges everything we think we know about faith and reality. Father Miguel Enrique Costa wakes at 5:47 a.m. in his modest room adjacent to Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church in the Vila Mariana neighborhood of São Paulo. The air is humid, typical for October in Brazil's largest city. Through his window, he hears the distant rumble of early morning traffic on Avenida Domingos da More. At 62 years old, Father Miguel has served this parish for 18 years. His routine never varies. Cold shower, black coffee, 30 minutes of prayer in the empty church before sunrise. The wooden pews still smell of polish from yesterday's cleaning. Sunlight filters through stained glass windows, casting blue and red patterns across the stone floor. By 7:30 a.m., the church begins to fill. Dona Maria, 78 years old, always sits in the third row, right side. She has attended this Mass every Sunday for 43 years. Behind her, the Ferreira family, Paulo, his wife Juliana, and their 3 children. The youngest, Lucas, is 7. He swings his legs, bored, while his mother tries to keep him quiet. The church can hold 300 people. Today, 207 are present. Security cameras at 4 different angles record everything. This detail will become crucial. Father Miguel notices nothing unusual. The congregation sings, Senhor, tenda piedade. Voices echo off the high ceiling. Elderly Senor Alberto's off-key tenor rises above the rest. A baby cries in the back. Someone's phone buzzes, quickly silenced. At 9:23 a.m., Father Miguel begins his homily. He speaks about forgiveness, about mercy, about how God asks us to love even those who hurt us. His words are gentle, measured. He has given thousands of homilies in his life. This one seems no different. Outside, São Paulo continues its Sunday rhythm. Street vendors sell fresh coconut water. Families walk to nearby bakeries for pão de queijo. The morning is unremarkable in every way. Nothing suggests what is coming. In exactly 8 minutes, a man named Rafael Souza will walk through the main entrance. He is 29 years old. He works as a warehouse assistant. He lives alone in a studio apartment 15 blocks away. For 3 weeks, he has not slept more than 2 hours per night. But Father Miguel does not know this yet. He continues speaking about mercy. The congregation listens. Some take notes. Others simply absorb his words. Dona Maria nods along, her weathered hands folded in her lap. The clock reads 9:31 a.m. Rafael Souza wakes that morning in darkness. His studio apartment has one window, covered by a heavy curtain he never opens. The space smells of unwashed clothes and instant noodles. Empty energy drink cans cover the small table. His phone screen casts the only light, dozens of unread messages from his mother, his sister, his former co-workers. He has not replied to anyone in 11 days. 3 weeks ago, Rafael lost his job at a logistics warehouse. The termination was sudden. The manager cited performance issues. Rafael had worked there for 6 years. He had never been late, never missed a day. But in the final month, something changed inside him. He started making mistakes, forgetting protocols, staring into space for long periods. His girlfriend, Amanda, Left him 2 weeks after the job loss. She took her belongings while he was out. Left a note on the kitchen counter. You're not the person I fell in love with. I can't watch you destroy yourself. Raphael reads that note every day. Sometimes multiple times. He has not eaten properly in 9 days. His landlord knocked yesterday about overdue rent. Raphael did not answer. He sat on the floor, back against the door, until the knocking stopped. Something broke in Raphael's mind during those 3 weeks. Not suddenly. Gradually. Like a rope fraying one thread at a time until only a few strands hold the weight. This morning, those final strands snap. At 8:47 a.m., Raphael stands in his kitchen. He opens a drawer. Inside is a knife, 20 centimeters long, black handle, purchased years ago for cooking. He picks it up. The weight feels foreign in his hand. In his fractured thinking, a belief has formed: God has abandoned him. More than abandoned, punished him. For what sin, he cannot articulate. But the conviction is absolute. And if God will not listen to prayers, perhaps God will listen to violence. Raphael does not plan to kill anyone. His thoughts are not that organized. He only knows he needs to make God see him. Make God acknowledge his pain. He chooses Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church because it is close. Because he remembers passing it as a child. Because, in some distant memory, it represents everything he has lost. Raphael walks through São Paulo streets at 9:15 a.m. The knife is in his jacket pocket. He passes families heading home from early Mass at other churches. A child drops an ice cream cone and begins crying. Raphael does not notice. He reaches the church at 9:31 a.m. The heavy wooden doors are open. Inside, he hears Father Miguel's voice speaking about mercy. Raphael's hand closes around the knife handle. What happens in the next 30 seconds will be reviewed by investigators more than 300 times. Subscribe now, because this gets even more inexplicable. At 9:31 and 42 seconds, Raphael Souza enters Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church. Security camera 1, positioned above the main entrance, captures his silhouette against the bright doorway. He pauses, looks up at the altar where Father Miguel stands. Father Miguel is mid-sentence, and in our darkest moments, we must remember that. Raphael begins walking down the center aisle. His pace is quick, purposeful. His right hand is in his jacket pocket. Camera 2, positioned on the left side of the church, shows congregation members beginning to turn. Something about Raphael's movement triggers alarm. His shoulders are hunched. His gait is unsteady. Dona Maria sees him first. Her hand moves to her chest. Paulo Ferreira pulls his youngest son closer. Father Miguel stops speaking. He lowers his notes. His expression shifts from confusion to concern in less than 2 seconds. "My son," Father Miguel begins. "Are you?" Raphael pulls the knife from his pocket. Someone screams. The sound echoes off stone walls. Multiple people stand. Chairs scrape against floor. A woman near the back starts praying aloud in rapid Portuguese. Raphael is now 15 meters from the altar. 10 meters. His eyes are fixed on Father Miguel. Tears stream down his face. His mouth moves, forming words no one can hear over the rising chaos. Security guard João Santos, positioned near the side exit, begins moving toward Raphael. João is 54 years old. Former military police. He moves quickly despite his age. But Raphael moves faster. 5 meters from the altar. 3 meters. Father Miguel does not run. He stands perfectly still. His hands are raised, palms forward. Not in defense. In a gesture of peace. "Brother," Father Miguel says. His voice is steady. "Come." Whatever pain you're carrying. Raphael lunges. The knife arcs upward, aimed at Father Miguel's chest. Camera 3 captures the blade catching light from the stained glass windows. Multiple witnesses will later describe the same impossible detail. The knife appears to stop in mid-air. Not slow down. Stop. As if Raphael's arm has hit an invisible wall. Raphael's eyes widen. He pulls back. Lunges again. Same result. The knife will not reach Father Miguel. There is no visible barrier. No physical obstruction. But the blade stops exactly 1 meter from the priest's body. Raphael staggers backward. His face shows pure confusion. He looks at the knife. At Father Miguel. At his own arm. João Santos reaches Raphael. Tackles him from behind. Both men go down hard. The knife skitters across the floor. Multiple congregation members rush to help João restrain Raphael. Raphael does not resist. He collapses, sobbing. His words are broken, incoherent. Why won't let me? Father Miguel descends from the altar. Against João's protests, he approaches Raphael. Kneels beside him. Places one hand on Raphael's heaving shoulder. The chaos continues around them. People are calling emergency services. Children are crying. Someone has started filming on their phone. But in that small space where Father Miguel kneels beside Raphael, there is stillness. This is when the second impossible thing happens. Carolina Mendez is sitting 8 rows back when she sees it first. Carolina is 34 years old. She works as a graphic designer. She considers herself spiritual but not particularly religious. She attends Mass occasionally to please her mother. She is filming the scene on her phone, initially to document the attack for police. Her camera is pointed at Father Miguel and Raphael on the floor. At timestamp 9 hours 33 minutes and 7 seconds, the light appears. Carolina will describe it later to investigators. It started behind Father Miguel. At first, I thought it was sunlight through the stained glass. But the sun doesn't move like that. Doesn't concentrate like that. The light is white. Brilliant but not blinding. It seems to emanate from a point approximately 2 meters behind Father Miguel. As Carolina watches through her phone screen, the light begins to take form. She stops breathing. Other witnesses describe the same phenomenon from different angles. Marcos Silva, sitting on the left side, says, "It looked like someone was materializing out of light itself. Like how heat makes the air shimmer, but deliberate, controlled." Camera 4, positioned behind the altar, captures what the human witnesses see but cannot quite process. The light forms a figure, approximately 1.7 meters tall. The outline is clearly feminine, draped in what appears to be a long robe or dress. One hand is extended toward Father Miguel. The face is indistinct, too bright to make out features clearly, but the head is tilted downward, looking at both Father Miguel and Raphael. The entire manifestation lasts 17 seconds. During those 17 seconds, Raphael's sobbing stops. He lifts his head. His eyes, red and swollen, focus on something above Father Miguel. His expression transforms. Terror becomes awe. Awe becomes something that can only be described as peace. Father Miguel does not turn around. He continues praying quietly, his hand still on Raphael's shoulder. Later, investigators will ask why he did not look. Father Miguel will respond, "I felt her presence. I did not need to see." 3 more witnesses capture footage on their phones, each from different angles. All show the same phenomenon. Forensic analysis will later confirm the footage is unedited. No post-production effects. No digital manipulation. The light begins to fade at 9 hours 33 minutes and 24 seconds. It does not disappear suddenly. It recedes gradually, like water draining through sand. Within 5 seconds, it is gone completely. Raphael collapses again. Not in despair this time. In exhaustion. João and 2 other men help him sit up. He is shaking. His lips move in what appears to be prayer. Carolina's hands are trembling so badly she nearly drops her phone. Around the church, people are standing, sitting, kneeling. Some are praying. Others are simply staring at the space where the light appeared. Several are crying. Dona Maria, in her 3rd-row seat, whispers, "Nossa Senhora. Nossa Senhora de Conceição. Our Lady of Conception." A 7-year-old boy, Lucas Ferreira, tugs his father's sleeve. "Daddy," he says, "who was the shining lady?" His father has no answer. Within 4 minutes, emergency services arrive. Police. Paramedics. Raphael is placed on a stretcher. He is calm. Cooperative. Keeps repeating, "She was so beautiful. So beautiful." Father Miguel speaks briefly with police, then asks permission to accompany Raphael to the hospital. Permission is granted. The congregation remains in the church. No one wants to leave. They need to talk. To compare what they saw. To confirm they were not hallucinating. By noon, the first video appears online. By 1 p.m., it has 10,000 views. By evening, 2 million. By Monday morning, the story is international news. But we are getting ahead of the sequence. The scientific examination of what happened is about to make this even stranger. Stay with us. Detective Isabella Rocha arrives at Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church at 11:47 a.m. She is a 39-year-old investigator with São Paulo Civil Police. She has worked homicide, assault, fraud. She prides herself on skepticism, on following evidence, not emotion. She does not believe in miracles. The church is now a crime scene. Yellow tape cordons off the main aisle. Forensic technicians photograph the knife, lying where it fell. They mark Raphael's entry path. They collect statements from witnesses. Isabella speaks with security guard João Santos first. His account is clear, consistent. Man entered. Drew knife. Attempted to attack priest. Knife appeared to stop before contact. Guard intervened. Suspect restrained. Appeared to stop? Isabella asks. Did stop, João corrects. I saw it. The blade stopped in the air. Isabella makes a note. Witness reports impossible event, adrenaline distortion? She interviews 17 witnesses over the next 3 hours. Every single account includes the same impossible details. The knife stopping in mid-air. The light appearing. The figure within the light. When stories align too perfectly, Isabella usually suspects collusion. People coordinating lies. But these witnesses include a corporate lawyer, a retired teacher, a university student, a construction worker, a dentist. Different ages. Different backgrounds. Different education levels. No prior connections. And they have video. Isabella watches Carolina Mendez's footage 5 times. On a small evidence room monitor. No sound. Carolina was too shocked to speak while filming. Just 17 seconds of light forming into a figure behind Father Miguel. Isabella calls in Marco Santos, the unit's digital forensics specialist. Marco is 26. Grew up on computers. Can spot a deepfake in seconds. He examines the footage for 40 minutes. Runs it through analysis software. Checks pixel patterns. Examines frame rates. Looks for signs of editing. Well? Isabella asks. Marco removes his glasses. Rubs his eyes. It's genuine. No manipulation. No effects added. Whatever this camera captured, it captured in real time. You're saying there was actually a figure made of light in that church? I'm saying this footage shows what appears to be a figure made of light, and I cannot find any technical explanation for how it was faked. Isabella reviews the security camera footage. 4 different angles. All show the same events. The attack. The knife stopping. The light appearing. Camera 3 provides the clearest view of the knife stopping. Isabella watches frame by frame. Raphael's arm extends. The blade moves forward. Then, at exactly 103 centimeters from Father Miguel's chest, it stops. Not gradually. Instantly. As if Raphael's arm has frozen mid-motion. No physical barrier is visible. No hand. No object. Nothing. Raphael's arm shows strain. The muscles are contracted. He is pushing forward with full force. The knife will not advance. Isabella has investigated hundreds of assault cases. She knows the physics of stabbing. The momentum. The penetration depth. This violates everything she knows. She calls Dr. Helena Torres, a forensic physician she has worked with for 8 years. Sends her the footage. Helena calls back within an hour. Isabella, I don't know what to tell you. That motion should be impossible. The human arm generates enough force to drive a blade through flesh and bone. But in this footage, something stops it completely. No visible contact. No trauma to the attacker's arm. What could cause that? Nothing I've encountered in 22 years of forensic medicine. By evening, Isabella has interviewed 32 witnesses, reviewed 11 phone videos, examined all security footage, consulted 3 specialists. Her report will conclude, events as described by witnesses are corroborated by video evidence. No conventional explanation available. Case requires further specialized investigation. That night, Isabella sits in her apartment. She was raised Catholic but stopped practicing 15 years ago. She considers herself agnostic, evidence-based, rational. She watches Carolina's footage again on her laptop. Sees the figure of light. Sees Raphael's face transform. Sees Father Miguel kneeling in prayer, never once looking at the phenomenon behind him. Isabella closes her laptop. Pours herself whiskey. Does not sleep well that night. Rafael Souza regains full consciousness at Hospital São Paulo at 3:27 p.m. He was sedated by paramedics, standard protocol for violent psychiatric episodes. Now, lying in a bed in the psychiatric evaluation unit, he opens his eyes to see Father Miguel sitting in a chair beside him. "Am I dead?" Raphael asks. His voice is hoarse. "No," Father Miguel says gently. "You're very much alive." Raphael begins crying again. Not the desperate, broken sobbing from earlier. Quieter. Deeper. "I tried to kill you." "You tried," Father Miguel agrees. "But you're here now. And that's what matters." A psychiatric evaluator, Dr. Rodrigo Alves, enters. He asks Father Miguel to step outside while he conducts an assessment. Father Miguel agrees but asks permission to return afterward. Dr. Alves nods. Dr. Alves is 47 years old. He has evaluated thousands of patients experiencing psychotic episodes, severe depression, violent ideation. He approaches Raphael's bed with clinical professionalism. "Raphael, I'm Dr. Alves. Can you tell me what happened this morning?" Raphael's account is surprisingly coherent. He describes the job loss, the breakup, the isolation, the growing belief that God had abandoned him, the decision to attack a priest, to force God to acknowledge him. "When you entered the church," Dr. Alves asks, "what was your mental state?" "I wanted to make God see me. I thought, if I hurt his priest, he would have to respond." "And what happened when you attacked Father Miguel?" Raphael's expression shifts. Confusion mingles with awe. The knife wouldn't reach him. I pushed. I tried. But it was like pushing against a wall that wasn't there. My arm just stopped. Dr. Alves makes notes. Patient describes dissociative experience during violent episode. Possible perception distortion. After your attempt, Dr. Alves continues, witnesses say you stopped. Why? Raphael's eyes fill with tears. Because I saw her. Saw who? The Virgin Mary. Dr. Alves has heard many things from patients in crisis. Religious visions are common during psychotic breaks. But something about Raphael's tone gives him pause. Not the fervor of delusion. The quiet certainty of witnessed truth. Can you describe what you saw? Light. So bright, but it didn't hurt to look at. And inside the light, a woman. She was wearing blue. White. She looked at me. Not with anger. With sadness. Love. She was sad that I was hurting. What did she say? Nothing. She didn't speak. But I understood. I understood that I was seen. That I was never abandoned. That my pain was real, but I didn't have to hurt anyone because of it. Dr. Alves asks more questions. Tests for signs of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, drug-induced psychosis. Raphael answers clearly. No hallucinations beyond the singular event. No paranoia. No disorganized thinking. Blood tests come back. No drugs. No alcohol. No chemical cause for altered perception. Dr. Alves consults with 2 colleagues. They review Raphael's presentation. The consensus: acute psychological crisis, possibly brief psychotic episode. But the resolution is atypical. Most patients in such states do not recover clarity so quickly. Father Miguel returns at 6 p.m. Dr. Alves steps out to give them privacy. I'm sorry, Raphael whispers. I'm so sorry. I forgive you, Father Miguel says. Completely. Without reservation. How can you? Because I believe God sent you to me. Not to hurt me. To remind both of us that mercy is real. That intervention is possible. That no one is beyond reach. Raphael asks about the investigation. About what will happen to him. Father Miguel explains that police will press charges, assault with a deadly weapon. But Father Miguel has already spoken with investigators. He will advocate for psychiatric treatment rather than prison. You were in crisis, Father Miguel says. You need help, not punishment. Over the next 2 hours, they talk. Raphael describes his childhood. A difficult home. An absent father. A mother who worked 3 jobs. The constant struggle for stability. The brief period of hope when he found steady work and met Amanda. The collapse when everything fell apart. Father Miguel listens without judgment. When Raphael finishes, the priest asks, "What do you remember most clearly about what you saw?" About her. Raphael is quiet for a long moment. That I was loved. Even in my worst moment. Even when I was trying to commit violence. I was loved. That, Father Miguel says, is the truest thing. Raphael will remain in psychiatric evaluation for 1 week. He will be diagnosed with major depressive disorder and acute stress reaction. He will begin medication and therapy. Charges will be filed, but, with Father Miguel's testimony and support, Raphael will receive a suspended sentence conditional on continued treatment. 3 months later, Raphael will volunteer at a crisis prevention center. 5 months later, he will begin training as a peer counselor. He will never fully explain what he saw that day. But he will tell his story to people in darkness, hoping it helps them see light. On October 15, 2025, Cardinal Fabio Martins receives an encrypted email from the Archdiocese of São Paulo. Attached are witness statements, video footage, and preliminary investigation reports regarding the incident at Nossa Senhora da Conceição Church. Cardinal Martins is 67 years old. He serves on the Vatican's Congregation for the Causes of Saints, the department responsible for investigating claimed miracles. He has reviewed hundreds of cases. Weeping statues, unexplained healings, stigmata. The vast majority have natural explanations. Moisture, placebo effects, self-inflicted wounds. He approaches this case with standard skepticism. He watches the video footage. Once, twice, 7 times. Then he calls Father Tommaso Ricci, a Vatican investigator who specializes in claimed supernatural phenomena. Father Ricci holds a doctorate in physics and a master's in theology. He is 62 years old. Italian. He has debunked more miracles than he has verified. Tommaso, Cardinal Martins says, I'm sending you something. I want your analysis. Complete discretion. Father Ricci receives the files that afternoon. He begins his review at 7 p.m. in his Vatican office. He does not finish until 3 a.m. The next morning, he calls Cardinal Martins. I need to go to Brazil. Your assessment? I cannot explain this footage through natural means. I need to interview witnesses, examine the location, consult with local experts. Cardinal Martins arranges travel. Father Ricci arrives in São Paulo on October 18th. He brings specialized equipment, electromagnetic field detectors, thermal cameras, atmospheric analyzers, tools to detect hoaxes. He begins at the church, examines the altar, the space where the light appeared. He takes measurements, samples. He interviews the security guard, the witnesses. He speaks with Raphael in the psychiatric unit. Each conversation reinforces the same narrative. Consistent details. No contradictions. He meets with Detective Isabella Rocha. She shares her investigative files. Father, she says, I don't know what happened in that church, but I know something happened that I cannot explain. Father Ricci consults with Dr. Helena Torres. Reviews the forensic analysis of Raphael's stopped knife thrust. Helena walks him through the biomechanics, shows him why it should be impossible. He interviews Carolina Mendez, examines her original phone footage, has Vatican technical experts analyze it remotely. They confirm, no manipulation. On October 23rd, Father Ricci visits Father Miguel. They speak for 3 hours in the church rectory. Father Ricci asks detailed questions about Father Miguel's experience, his perception during the attack, his spiritual state before and after. Why didn't you turn to look at the light? Father Ricci asks. Father Miguel considers. Because I felt her presence so strongly that I did not need to see. And because my attention needed to be on Raphael. He was in crisis. He needed to see a human face, to receive human touch, not to feel more overwhelmed by the divine. Do you believe the Virgin Mary appeared in your church? I believe something beyond human understanding occurred. Whether it was Mary specifically, or an angel, or some other manifestation of God's protection, I cannot say with certainty, but I felt the presence of divine mercy. That, I know absolutely. Father Ricci spends 11 days in São Paulo. He produces a 127-page preliminary report. His conclusion is careful, measured, but significant. The events of October 13, 2025, at Nossa Senhora da Conceição Church present multiple elements that resist conventional explanation. The phenomenon was witnessed by multiple reliable sources, documented by video evidence from various angles, and occurred in circumstances that preclude mass hallucination or coordinated deception. While further investigation is warranted, preliminary findings suggest a genuine anomalous event consistent with protective divine intervention. His report does not declare a miracle. Vatican protocol requires years of investigation before such declarations. But it does not dismiss the event as explainable through natural causes. Cardinal Martins reads the report. He forwards it to higher authorities. The process begins. Interviews will continue. Evidence will be examined. Witnesses will be re-questioned. Medical experts will consult. Theologians will debate. The Vatican moves slowly, deliberately. Truth, they believe, requires patience. By October 16th, the story is international news. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera. Priest saved by divine intervention in Brazil. Virgin Mary appears during church attack. Miracle in São Paulo. Television crews arrive at Vila Mariana. They film the church exterior. Interview neighbors. Carolina Mendez's phone footage plays on news programs worldwide. Millions watch the 17 seconds of light forming into a figure. Comments sections explode. Believers declare it proof of God's existence. Skeptics call it mass hysteria. Debunkers claim video manipulation despite forensic analysis proving otherwise. Father Miguel's phone rings constantly. Interview requests. Media appearances. Book deals. He declines everything. Issues a brief statement through the Archdiocese. I am grateful for God's protection. I ask for privacy to continue serving my parish and to support Raphael's recovery. The church becomes a pilgrimage site. By October 20th, thousands visit daily. They light candles, pray, take photos. Some claim subsequent miracles. A woman says her chronic pain vanished after praying at the altar. A man claims his depression lifted. A teenager reports a vision. The Archdiocese assigns additional security, limits access to preserve order, designates specific prayer times. Dona Maria, who witnessed the event, gives one interview to a local television station. She is poised, clear. I know what I saw. I am 78 years old. I have been Catholic my entire life. I have prayed for miracles and seen none. Until that morning. I saw her. Our Lady. She was protecting Father Miguel. She was showing us that we are not alone. Paulo Ferreira, father of 3, tells reporters, "My son asked me who the Shining Lady was. I told him the truth. I don't know. But I know we witnessed something beyond human understanding. And I know I will never doubt God's presence again." Academic debates rage. Theologians analyze the event through doctrinal lenses. Psychologists discuss mass suggestion and group dynamics. Physicists examine the video for optical phenomena. Anthropologists compare it to other claimed apparitions throughout history. Dr. Margaret Stevens, a professor of religious studies at Stanford University, publishes an analysis. What makes the São Paulo event significant is not just the number of witnesses, but the quality of documentation. Previous apparition claims lack video evidence from multiple angles. This case provides unprecedented data for analysis. Dr. Richard Chen, a neuroscientist at MIT, offers a counter-perspective. While the video is remarkable, we must consider psychological factors. High-stress situations can cause perceptual distortions. The attack created acute fear. The brain seeks meaning in crisis. The appearance of light could be a collective interpretation of sunlight through stained glass, amplified by emotional need. But Dr. Chan acknowledges, the knife stopping is more difficult to explain through psychological or neurological models. That will require further examination. Social media fractures along predictable lines. Hashtags trend. Hashtag Miracle in Brazil, hashtag Virgin Maria SP, hashtag São Paulo Apparition. Some users create artistic renderings of what the figure might have looked like. Others mock the entire event. Memes proliferate. Father Miguel watches none of it. He continues his daily routine. Morning prayer. Massachusetts visits to parishioners. Counseling sessions. Twice weekly visits to Raphael in psychiatric care. The church community tries to return to normalcy. But normalcy is impossible. The third pew where Dona Maria sits is now considered blessed. People touch the spot where Father Miguel stood during the attack. The altar becomes a site of constant prayer. By October 28th, the media intensity begins to fade. News cycles move to other stories. But the visitors continue. Hundreds daily. Then dozens. The flow slows but never stops. Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church is permanently changed. It is now known worldwide. A place where something happened. Something witnessed. Something documented. Something that, regardless of belief, cannot be simply dismissed. November 3rd, 2025. 3 weeks after the incident. The Sunday morning Mass at Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church is packed. 400 people crowd into a space designed for 300. They stand along walls, sit in the aisles, overflow into the narthex. Father Miguel begins the service at 9 a.m. His voice is steady, familiar. He does not mention the incident unless necessary. This morning, it is necessary. 3 weeks ago, he says, something happened in this church that has been analyzed, debated, and discussed by people around the world. Many of you are here because you've heard the story. Some of you were here when it occurred. All of you want to understand what it means. He pauses, looks across the congregation, sees familiar faces and new ones, sees doubt and faith, sees hope and skepticism. I cannot give you certainty. I cannot prove to you what happened. I can only tell you what I experienced. I felt protected. I felt the presence of something beyond myself. Whether you call that Mary or God or divine intervention or simply an unexplained phenomenon, that is between you and your understanding. But I can tell you what I believe the event teaches us. It teaches that in our darkest moments, we are not alone. It teaches that violence can be stopped. It teaches that mercy is more powerful than harm. It teaches that a man in crisis, a man who came here to hurt me, was transformed by an encounter with something greater than his pain. Raphael is recovering. He attends therapy. He is rebuilding his life. He has asked me to share his gratitude with all of you. Your prayers matter. Your compassion matters. Your belief that people can change matters. Father Miguel's homily continues for 15 minutes. He speaks about faith not as certainty but as trust. About how miracles, if that's what they are, exist not to prove God's existence but to remind us of God's presence. After Mass, Father Miguel greets parishioners. An elderly man asks, "Father, do you think she will appear again?" "I don't know," Father Miguel answers honestly. "And I don't think that's the right question. The question is, how will we live knowing that protection and mercy are real?" Later that afternoon, Father Miguel visits Raphael. They have developed a routine. Weekly meetings. Conversations about recovery. About faith. About purpose. Raphael has gained weight. Looks healthier. His eyes are clearer. "I'm going back to work," he tells Father Miguel. Different company. Different position. Fresh start. "I'm proud of you. I still don't understand why it happened to me. Why I was saved from myself." Father Miguel considers. Maybe because your story can help others. Maybe because God saw something in you worth preserving. Maybe because mercy doesn't require understanding. It simply is. They pray together. Raphael's prayers are simple now. Honest. Thank you for stopping me. Thank you for showing me I was seen. Help me become worthy of that mercy. On November 10th, Father Ricci submits his final preliminary report to the Vatican. It runs 284 pages. Includes testimony from 63 witnesses, analysis from 12 different specialists, theological commentary from 4 scholars. His conclusion remains measured. The event resists natural explanation but requires continued investigation before determination can be made regarding supernatural origin. Recommend ongoing monitoring and further study. The investigation will continue for years. That is Vatican protocol. Truth cannot be rushed. Detective Isabella Rocha closes her case file on November 12th. Her official report states, assault was interrupted by unknown means. No conventional explanation available. Suspect received psychiatric care. Victim declined to pursue criminal prosecution beyond conditional sentencing. Case closed. Circumstances remain under investigation by religious authorities. That night, Isabella does something she has not done in 15 years. She attends Mass. Not at Nossa Senhora de Conceição, too crowded. At a small church near her apartment. She sits in the back. Listens. Does not take communion. Is not ready for that. But she listens. Carolina Mendez has watched her footage hundreds of times. She is interviewed by academic researchers studying collective perception. She explains patiently, I know what I recorded. I know what I saw. I don't need anyone to believe me. I was there. I witnessed it. That's enough. She has become more regular in her attendance at church. Brings her mother. They sit together. Pray together. Carolina is not sure what she believes about doctrine or theology. But she knows what she saw. And she knows it changed her. Donna Maria, in her usual third-row seat, continues her routine. Sunday Mass. Every week. For 43 years and counting. People ask her to recount what she saw. She obliges. Her testimony never varies. I saw Our Lady. She was protecting Father Miguel. She was reminding us that we are loved. Little Lucas Ferreira, age 7, draws pictures of what he saw. His mother keeps them in a folder. Dozens of drawings. A priest. A man with a knife. A glowing lady. Light everywhere. In every picture, everyone is smiling by the end. Because that is how Lucas remembers it. Not the fear. The resolution. November 15th, 2025. 1 month and 2 days after the incident. Father Miguel wakes at 5:47 a.m. Cold shower. Black coffee. 30 minutes of prayer in the empty church. The pews still smell of polish. Sunlight filters through stained glass windows. Blue and red patterns across stone floor. Everything looks the same as it did on October 13th. But nothing is the same. Father Miguel prays not for understanding but for wisdom. For guidance in what comes next. For protection of Raphael's continued recovery. For clarity amid uncertainty. He does not pray for another appearance. Does not need proof. The first moment was enough. At 9 a.m., he will lead Mass. 212 people will attend. Some believers. Some skeptics. Some merely curious. All seeking something. Answers. Meaning. Connection. Hope. Father Miguel cannot give them certainty. Only his testimony. Only his witness. Only his continued presence. The knife that Raphael carried is in police evidence. The video footage is archived. The witness statements are documented. The investigation continues. But the most important evidence walks through São Paulo streets every day. Raphael, going to work, attending therapy, volunteering, living. Transformed not by punishment but by mercy. The story of what happened at Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church on October 13, 2025, will be told for generations. Debated, analyzed, believed, doubted, investigated. But for Father Miguel, the meaning is simple. In humanity's darkest moments, when violence seems inevitable, protection exists. When despair feels absolute, intervention is possible. When we are certain we are alone, we are seen. Whether through divine appearance or unexplained phenomenon, through Virgin Mary or universal force, through miracle or mystery, love stopped hatred. Light interrupted darkness. Mercy transformed violence. That truth requires no Vatican declaration, no scientific proof, no academic consensus. It simply is. And on this Sunday morning, as Father Miguel walks to the altar to begin Mass, as hundreds gather seeking meaning, as Raphael begins another day of rebuilt life, as witnesses carry their testimony into the world, the message remains. We are not alone. We are protected. We are loved. Even when we cannot see it. Especially when we cannot see it. The story does not end. It continues. In every person who heard what happened and chose compassion over judgment. In every moment someone in crisis is seen rather than abandoned. In every act of mercy that stops violence before it begins. This is the miracle. Not just what happened in 17 seconds of light, but what continues happening in every moment we choose to see each other, to protect each other, to offer mercy instead of condemnation. Nossa Senhora de Conceição Church stands in Vila Mariana. The doors remain open. The altar awaits. The prayers continue. And somewhere in São Paulo, Rafael Souza wakes up, goes to work, lives another day. Not because he deserved saving, but because mercy does not require deserving. It simply is. This story challenges everything we think we know about faith, reality, and human transformation. If it moved you, subscribe and share it. These are the stories that remind us why we seek truth, even when truth defies explanation. What do you believe happened in that church? The investigation continues, but the witnesses know what they saw. And 32 days later, their testimony remains unchanged.